Hello everyone, and welcome to my speech. So, let's begin. So I'm on about my life in Ewing sarcoma, how I lived it, and my story, so I hope you enjoy and like it. So I'm going to start from the very beginning, when I was 12. This was on my 12th birthday, apparently. That's my little sister. And oh God, I just don't like that photo. I don't like it. So this was before I found out I had Ewing sarcoma, before I actually found out anything about cancer, before anything. So this is me when I first got diagnosed. I was diagnosed on the 29th of October in the Royal Victorian Hospital in Newcastle. I was only 12. So, yeah, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was happening. Everyone else knew what was happening, and I just didn't have a clue. And I just don't like photos. So I just didn't like anything. I just went for scans, went for everything, and I didn't know what was happening with my life at the moment. My treatment. Right, this is one I don't know a lot about. With my treatment, it was horrific. I thought that with cancer, it just like, oh, how about we just cut it out and it's gone forever? No, they've got to shrink it, and that gives you chemotherapy. I don't know what chemotherapy is. I didn't even know there wasn't different types of it, but they're up there anyway, on the second bullet point, and you can read that. I don't know what they mean. And yeah, it was just so difficult, the treatment. It was harsh, it was horrible, and I just felt ill and sick afterwards. And there's some pictures, more pictures of me. The one on the right is when I met the Newcastle players when they came for Christmas to my hospital, and they met me, and there's all the wires and stuff hooked up to me. And the one on the left, I don't know when that was taken though. I think I was annoyed or something, but I just don't know when that was taken. This is one I do not like talking about, but I'm going to do it anyway. This is when I had my leg amputated, when I was still 12, when I found out this. I don't know if you know him, my surgeon, Craig Durant. We met him, and he came down to meet me, and he came over and told me, with my consultant, Quentin, and said, all right, well, I've got something I need to tell you, Kieran. It's very upsetting, but we found out that the tumour is really big and we won't be able to shrink it, so the only possible thing we can think of is amputate your leg. So I didn't know what was going on here. I wasn't really listening to him, to be honest. And he just started going on about stuff like, oh yeah, we need to do this, we need to do that. And I was like, I don't know what you're saying. And he just kept going on about loads of stuff. And eventually, when was it? I don't know when was it, but it was. I didn't like that day. That was the worst day of my life, and I never want to see it again. So eventually, he came down and decided to, so the surgeons knew where my leg was and knew what they needed to cut off, because if they cut my arm off, I'd be very angry. So they came down, and so he started drawing pictures of me. This is my last moments with my leg before I'd amputated. The one on the far left, I think that's left, yeah, far left at the top, he decided to draw a smiley face on the top of my leg to make me happy. And these are the final moments of my leg. On the bottom right, that was only 4 days after my amputation, and the nurses said, right, we'll get you out of the bed, we'll let you sit down. So I said, all right, I'll sit in my wheelchair. But the wheelchairs have wheels on it, doesn't it? So I said, all right, I'm moving. So when they weren't looking, I was going up and down, doing wheelies down the corridor. And when they saw us, they were like, oh, he's doing that again. So then I had more treatment to make sure that the chemo didn't spread, the cancer didn't spread or anything. So I had 8 cycles of that. It was horrible. But it was better than my first cycles. It was just ridiculous. I actually hated the first time around when this happened. I actually didn't like it. It was horrible. Now, my remission, this was the best day when my consultant came to me and said, Kieran, you're in remission. I was happy as heck. I didn't know what to say. I was just as happy as can be. And he just said, Kieran, you're in remission. No, you just need to come in for monthly checkups. And I was like, yeah, checkups. So after that, it was fine. Then I decided to get my prosthetic leg fitted. So on the 10th of November at 11 a.m., I got my first fitting. I'll never forget it. It was so amazing getting it fitted, because one minute you were hopping around with one leg, and the next minute you've got a leg on, you can walk. It's kind of strange. And there's me on the Wii Fit just practicing with my balance with the leg. And it was really good experience doing it again. Now I'm deciding to live my life again, back to where I was, back to doing everything, back to normal. And I'm just going out, playing with my sister, going out with my friends, and I'm back to normal, trying to get my legs sorted out. Everything's perfectly trying to get back to normal, hopefully. And then I got in touch with Athena Sports Academy. They because I was carrying the Olympic torch, so they got in touch with us so I can build my strength back. So on January 2012, I started doing gymnastics, and so on. And then that little girl there, you're gonna have to remember her face because she's gonna come up a bit soon. So then the torch came, and I fell with the torch. So when I did the torch, I was all fine. I was excited. I was a little bit nervous, and it was nerve-wracking. It was nerve-wracking. I was a bit scared. So when I did it, I was just walking along, and then my leg buckled, because that was my first leg. It was horrible, really horrible. It was heavy. It was horrible and rubbish. I needed a crutch to walk with it. And so when I did it, I fell on national TV. So, and I was on the floor, and I was like, oh no, what have I done? I've fallen over. And then everyone just stopped, and the doctor came over to us and said, Kieran, are you all right? All right, I'm the doctor. And I was like, go away, no one likes you. And then I got myself up, everyone was cheering for me. I felt really embarrassed. I thought everyone was going to go, oh, he's fallen over again. But no, everyone was really nice and said, go on, Kieran, you can go. So I started walking again, and I was actually amazed. I was. But then I realised it was going over Twitter and all over the news, and everyone knew about it, and I was like, it was on national TV. This is not fair. Everyone's going to be laughing at me. But they weren't. They were putting out nice comments on my fund page. Everyone loved it. They were being so nice to me. And that gave me a massive boost in my life that I never thought people would think about me like that. And it was amazing. Then someone in Scotland, a lady in Scotland, got in touch with Mr. and Mrs. Weir. They won the Euro lottery. I don't know how much money they won, but then they said, all right, why don't we pay for a better leg for him? So then you've got my old nasty leg on the right, or the left, whatever, and then you've got my really nice one with the shoe on the left. And then in the middle, you've got my blade, but that's going in the future. This is going a bit further in. But that's see how much difference it makes. They're definitely different in weight. When you're holding them, you're like, this was the normal one, the really good one. This was the really heavy one. You're like this. It was horrible. So I'm just trying to get back to normal. And then I got my blade. Now, that's the one with the picture with the man. He's my old prosthetist. He made my blade leg, and he's incredible. He's an incredible man. I don't know how they do it, how they make legs like that, but it's insane. It's like going into the future, and it just feels weird. Just like they just make a leg. Yeah, I'm going to make yourself a leg today, Kieran. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? You're going to make what? And so they made my life much more better at doing this. So then when I got the blade, I decided to start learning to run for my gymnastics, because I was doing a national championships later in that year. So when I was learning to run, I met three very incredible, inspirational people. Richard Whitehead, Johnny Peacock, and Steph Reed. Them three are three amazing people that I would never thought I would meet. I was really scared to meet them. I hid around the corner. And so then I started learning to run. It only took me 20 minutes to learn to run after about a year of just being sat in a bed doing nothing. Well, I thought was right crazy. So, relapse. Right, this one was a scary one. When I relapsed, I went into a room because I had my normal checkups with Quentin. Went in a room and he started saying, "Kieran, we found something on your lungs, so we need to have a CT scan for you." And I was like, "Okay, I'll have a CT scan." So I went down, had a CT scan, and then they said, "Kieran, I'm sorry, but unfortunately, the cancer's returned." Well, my face just dropped and my blood went cold. I think my mum's did as well. Everyone just got in shock, and it was so horrible. I'll never forget that day. It was a horrible day. But at this point, I was that worried, and I thought, wait a minute, I've got my national championships for my gymnastics, and my partner, Abby, the girl who I told you to remember before, I don't want to let her down. So what I did is something he didn't expect me to do, because he was like, "All right, Kieran, on that Monday we'll take you to get your treatment. We're going to do this, we're going to do that." And I just said to him, "No." And his face just went, "What? What do you mean, no?" And I went, "I'm not doing it." And he was like, "Well, you have to do it. This is your life state. You can't do this. You have to do that." I was like, "No, I'm not having treatment." I delayed treatment to do that championship for her, and I came out with, well, I did it, and now I'm British champion for wheelchair acro, and I won gold. So when I did the championship, she was happy. She was very happy. It was good to see her with a smiley face for once. So once I did that, then I started my treatment again. But you would think, them pictures, wait a minute, you're running. You're meant to be in hospital sleeping. What are you doing running? But I needed to help my lungs to fight this cancer, because I had 8 tumours in my lungs, one big one and 7 little small ones all over my lungs. And my lungs can't cope with that, so I was thinking, right, what could I do to help my lungs? What I've been learning to do. And I thought, hey, I've been learning to run, haven't I? So I decided to do marathons, and the mini Great North Run for BCRT. That was a good day. And I did, when Richard Whitehead was doing his 40 marathons in 40 days, I did his 5K run, family run in Nottingham. That was a good day. And I finished with him, so you can see that picture. And that's my coach with the red jacket. She's the one who taught me to run the first time. So yeah. Now this one was a killer. This was horrible. This was my high dose. If you don't know what high dose is, it's a mixture of, I think it's 2 chemos mixed together, or it's just horrible. It's horrendous what they do, but you've got to do it. You've got to do it to survive. And I hated every minute of this bit. And so when I finished, I had a month or two months. I don't know how long I was in there for, but I wasn't allowed to leave a room for ages. It was horrible. So during high dose, you can see all them pictures. The start, them 2 pinches in the middle, they're my stem cells. So when you start, your body's just shut down, you feel horrible. That's what boosts your immune system to make you feel a bit better, and you're able to move. And before I even had that, during it, that's me when I was asleep. Don't know where she got that picture from, Mum. But when I was asleep, and I just didn't know what to do with my life at this point. I thought the cancer wouldn't return, and then it just did, and I didn't know what to do at this moment. I thought I was a goner. So then eventually I got back into remission. That was another day I really loved. My sister was so happy, as you can see in the picture. And so he just said, all right, well, we've had a look at the scan, but we've seen 2 more spots. 2 more spots. So we were like, okay, 2 spots. But I wasn't worried about these 2 spots because they said, we don't know, because you've had an operation, because I had an operation on my lungs to get the big one out, to get that removed, they think that's just scar tissue. So then they just said, all right then, we'll just have a look. And they haven't said anything about it so far. So I think I'm good about it, so I'm not worrying about it. So then I started doing more running, and now, because I finished my gymnastics, I can't go any further with it. I've decided to do running, and now I'm a part of a group called Dartmouth Harriers, where I live. And now I'm classified in the T42 sprinting group, and I'm just living the life to the limit, and I'm enjoying it. I love life right now, and yeah. And then this is me now, and I don't know. Well, thank you. Before I go, I would like to say one thing. Mum, could you come here, please? Yes, you are. Come here. Yeah, come here. Come on. One thing I've never done before is every minute I've been doing my training, either been in hospital, I've never actually thanked my mum for being here, for helping me through my journey, and I wouldn't be here without my mum. So I just want to say thank you, mum, for being there for me.